Have you noticed how some people grow quieter with age, but somehow their presence speaks louder than words? They don't chase attention, but they command respect. They don't boast achievements, yet people listen when they speak. It's not magic, it's mastery. A mastery of life, forged through experience, reflection, and the right habits most overlook. You see, growing older isn't just about numbers. It's about evolving into someone unforgettable, not because of money or fame, but because of who you've become. Sadly, many miss this opportunity. They grow older, but not wiser. They lose their spark, not because it's gone, but because they stopped feeding it. In today's video, we'll uncover 6 rare traits that can quietly make you more valuable than gold after 65. These aren't traits you're born with, they're traits you build. And if you're willing, you can start nurturing them today. These 6 will not only set you apart, they'll draw people toward you without effort, without noise. And trust me, number 6 might just be the one thing keeping most people from living the second half of life to its fullest. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more content that helps you grow stronger and wiser with every year. And let me know in the comments, are you living with purpose? Type YES if you are, and not YET if you're still figuring it out. Let's talk about it. All right, let's dive in. Number 1. The power to remain unshaken amid chaos. There's a rare strength that becomes more visible with a quiet, grounded presence that doesn't flinch when life becomes turbulent. It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention. Yet when it enters a room, people feel safer, steadier, and more secure. This strength isn't about denying life's challenges or pretending all is well. It's about understanding what's worth your energy, what deserves peace instead of panic, and how to hold steady even when others are falling apart. As we move beyond our 60s, life stops being hypothetical. We've seen dreams come true and watched some fall apart. We've said painful goodbyes and welcomed new beginnings. Through it all, a few people emerge with a deeper resilience, not bitter, not hardened, but wiser. They've learned that yelling won't fix anything, that not every problem is an emergency, and that serenity often wins battles that aggression never could. Consider Evelyn, 71, a retired school principal known in her town for her unwavering composure. During school crises, whether it was a fight between students, a fire drill gone wrong, or a parent in distress, Evelyn never raised her voice. She had this uncanny way of bringing calm just by stepping into the room. Now in retirement, she volunteers at a community center where younger women often seek her advice. Not because she has all the answers, but because she listens. She reflects. She doesn't rush to fix everything. Her calm gives others permission to breathe. True inner steadiness doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care wisely. You pick your battles. You protect your peace. People who've mastered this are emotionally strategic. They don't let every sharp comment slice their spirit. They know when to speak and when to remain silent. And most of all, they aren't controlled by chaos, they are the calm within it. Their power isn't loud, but it is deeply felt. Evelyn often says, "You can't control the storm, but you can control how you stand in the rain." That's the wisdom of a seasoned soul. She doesn't jump into every argument or try to fix everyone's mood. Instead, she brings tea, asks thoughtful questions, or simply sits in silence, offering more comfort than any advice ever could. That's the magic of someone who has learned to stay grounded when the world feels unstable. This kind of presence doesn't just help others, it transforms your own life. You stop getting dragged into every emotional whirlwind. Your heart learns to rest. Your mind begins to focus on what truly matters: peace, purpose, and presence. People start to value your company not because you solve their problems, but because you don't add to them. You become a sanctuary in a noisy world. And here's the deeper truth. Cultivating this calm is a choice you make every day. It starts with pausing before you speak, breathing before you react, letting go of things that steal your peace but give you nothing in return. With time, you stop proving your worth and start being your worth. You become the quiet center others gather around, not because you need validation, but because you radiate what they crave: peace, wisdom, and a steady heart in a stormy world. Number 2, a curiosity that refuses to grow old. One quiet superpower that makes someone shine after 65 is their refusal to let their curiosity die. Many people think growing older means settling into routine, closing the book on discovery, and sticking with what's familiar. But those who truly stand out, those who are quietly more valuable than ever, are the ones who keep asking questions, trying new things, and seeing the world with fresh eyes, no matter their age. It's not just about keeping your brain active, it's about keeping your soul awake. The individuals who remain full of life well into their later years are the ones who keep their minds open. They're not afraid to try a new hobby, read a different genre of book, or explore ideas that challenge their beliefs. They don't cling to the phrase, "That's not how we did things back then." Instead, they say, "That's interesting, tell me more." They are students of life until the very end. Think of James, 78, a retired postman from Ohio. After decades of walking routes through sun, snow, and rain, James could have easily slipped into a quiet retirement of daily news and old routines. But instead, he took up digital photography, a skill he'd never explored before. He bought a second-hand camera and began capturing images of nature trails, city streets, and even the faces of strangers who welcomed his lens. His granddaughter taught him how to edit photos on a tablet, and now he shares his work online with a growing community of young creatives. James even enrolled in a local history course at the community college, not for credit, but for curiosity. People enjoy visiting him not just because he's wise, but because he's alive with interest in the world. Curiosity adds a spark to life. It turns ordinary days into opportunities. It keeps the heart light and the mind alert. And people who stay curious are often the best conversationalists. You can talk with them for hours, because they're not just talking at you, they're interested in you. They don't assume they know everything. They know there's still more to discover, even in people they've known for years. What curiosity really gives you is connection to the world, to people, and to your own sense of wonder. It helps you grow with the times instead of growing bitter against them. The people who lose that sense of discovery often feel disconnected and left behind. But those who keep exploring, even in small ways, stay relevant. They stay awake. They remain interesting, not because they try to be, but because they never stop caring about what comes next. Here's something to consider. Curiosity is a decision. You don't stumble into it. You invite it. You ask more than you explain. You observe more than you assume. You choose to believe that there's still more out there for you to love, learn, and experience. And in doing that, you give yourself a reason to look forward to each day. If this message sparks something in you, don't keep it to yourself, share it with someone who needs a reminder that growth never has an expiration date. And if you believe in lifelong learning, comment below. Subscribe for more uplifting insights, and keep feeding your curiosity every single day. The journey is far from over, it's just getting interesting. Number 3, the courage to protect your peace without apology. As we grow older, one of the most empowering shifts we can make is learning to protect our personal peace without feeling the need to apologize for it. After decades of saying yes when we wanted to say no, of overextending ourselves for the sake of keeping others comfortable, there comes a time when the quiet power of setting boundaries becomes not just helpful, necessary. It's not about pushing people away. It's about preserving what matters: your time, your energy, your sanity. Many people confuse kindness with self-sacrifice. But there's a big difference between being generous and being drained. The wisest elders are the ones who've learned that constantly giving without limits doesn't build strong relationships, it breeds resentment and burnout. True kindness is balanced by clarity. True generosity knows its own limits. And the people who are truly respected later in life are often the ones who learned how to say no with calm confidence. Consider Linda, 70, a retired nurse from Colorado. For most of her working life, she was the one everyone leaned on. She stayed late at work, took calls on her days off, and ran errands for neighbors without ever asking for help in return. Even in retirement, she found herself being pulled in every direction, babysitting on short notice, attending events she didn't enjoy, and listening for hours to others vent their frustrations. Eventually, she realized she was running on emotional fumes. That's when she decided to draw a new line in the sand, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Today, Linda lives by a few simple rules. If it drains her spirit, it's a no. If it brings her joy or aligns with her values, it's a yes. She still helps her family, but only when she has the capacity. She still shows up for friends, but only when it's mutual, not one-sided. She now spends her mornings gardening, walking her dog, and painting things that restore her rather than deplete her. And you know what? The people around her adjusted. They respected her choices. And the few who didn't? She realized they were never really respectful in the first place. This is the quiet power of boundaries. They filter your relationships. They show you who values your presence, not just your service. They teach others how to treat you by showing how you treat yourself. And most of all, they help you regain control over the most precious thing you have left, your peace of mind. People who set boundaries aren't being selfish, they're being wise. They've learned that not every invitation needs a response. Not every call must be answered. Not every favor must be fulfilled. And not every relationship deserves space in your life. By honoring their own limits, they create space for peace, clarity, and joy to return. So ask yourself, where do you need to draw a line? What's one thing you've been tolerating that no longer serves you? Start there. Because once you get comfortable protecting your peace, you'll wonder why you ever felt guilty about it in the first place. If this message speaks to you, drop A3 in the comments. Share it with someone who needs the reminder, and don't forget to subscribe for more empowering truths about life after 60. You deserve to feel strong, respected, and at peace every single day. Number 4, the quiet gift of being a comfort to others. There's a rare and beautiful trait that becomes even more powerful with the ability to bring calm and comfort just by being present. It's not about having the right words or making grand gestures. It's about the peaceful energy you carry. After 65, the most cherished individuals are often those who don't seek to impress, but who leave people feeling seen, safe, and valued simply by existing with grace. This kind of presence doesn't shout. It doesn't compete. It just is. It offers steadiness in a world that moves too fast. People who carry this gift often aren't trying to fix everything, they're simply there, fully, with their hearts open. And somehow, that's more than enough. They give others space to breathe, space to feel, and space to be themselves without pressure or performance. Think of Helen, 74, a retired librarian from Oregon. Her life was never loud or flashy. But walk into her home and you'll feel the atmosphere shift. The scent of tea, the soft lighting, her calm voice welcoming you at the door, it all creates a gentle sense of peace. Her neighbors often drop by just to sit with her. Her grandchildren love to share their worries, not because she offers perfect advice, but because she never rushes them, never judges, never interrupts. Helen doesn't need to be the center of attention, she's the center of calm, and people naturally gather around her warmth like a fire on a cold day. True comfort comes from understanding. It comes from having lived through pain, joy, loss, and love, and learning to meet others wherever they are. People like Helen don't force positivity. They offer presence. They know how to nod and say, "I understand," in a way that feels real. They know how to sit with silence when words won't help. They share kindness in small gestures, a remembered birthday, a handwritten note, a warm meal on a hard day. What's most powerful is that this kind of warmth isn't about effort, it's about intention. It's the way you choose to care without expectation. The way you remain patient when others are hurried. The way you offer attention in a distracted world. These seemingly small actions leave deep impressions on people. You may not even realize the impact you're having, but others will remember how you made them feel when they needed comfort the most. And here's something worth holding on to. This gift grows stronger with time. You don't need youth or status to offer it. In fact, it's often older adults who master it best. With age comes the ability to slow down, to listen deeply, and to give freely from the heart. The people who embody this become anchor-steady, loving, and quietly unforgettable. If you've ever met someone whose presence felt like a warm embrace, you know just how powerful this is. And the truth is, you can become that person. Start by listening more than speaking, by showing up without needing to be noticed, by offering small kindnesses, not for recognition, but because it's who you are. If this message touched you, if you believe that kindness is strength, comment F4 below. Share it with someone who brings you comfort, and subscribe for more heartfelt reflections on aging with purpose. Your warmth could be someone's safe place, and that's more valuable than gold. Number 5. Discovering the magic in everyday moments. As the years pass, one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is the ability to find genuine joy in life's simplest offerings. After 65, this skill becomes less of a luxury and more of a lifeline. It's not about lowering expectations or giving up on dreams. It's about waking up to the fact that the most meaningful parts of life often come in quiet, humble forms. Those who radiate a rare, golden kind of peace are the ones who've embraced this truth. They don't chase the noise. They don't need constant novelty or validation. Instead, they find fulfillment in what others often miss. The rhythmic chirping of birds at sunrise, the way the morning breeze brushes against their skin, the comfort of a home-cooked meal, or a slow, thoughtful conversation with someone they care about. Consider James, 76, a U.S. Navy veteran living in a small town in Oregon. He's neither rich nor well-known, but there's a lightness about him that draws people in. His home is modest, but his spirit is rich. He spends his mornings sitting on his porch, sipping black coffee, watching the world wake up. He jokes with the mailman, smiles at passing neighbors, and gives his time to a local community garden. He says the best part of his week is reading old Western novels under the oak tree behind his house. Nothing fancy, just peace, presence, and perspective. James doesn't pretend life was easy. He's lost loved ones. He's weathered health scares and financial stress. But he's made a choice to let the good shine louder than the bad. He doesn't complain about what went wrong. He celebrates what's still going right. He believes the little things: warm socks in winter, the smell of rain, a grandchild's laughter not little at all. And that's the secret. People are drawn to those who are content in their own skin. The kind of person who makes you want to slow down and savor life. That calm, centered energy is contagious and rare. It reminds others that peace isn't found in more things, but in more awareness. In a world that constantly pushes for more, they offer a different path. Enough is already here, if only you're willing to see it. Sadly, too many people overlook this. They get stuck comparing, regretting, wishing. They measure life by what's missing instead of what's present. But the truly wise realize the secret isn't in changing the world, it's in changing how you see the world. Here's the truth. A simple life isn't a lesser life. It's a conscious one. It's filled with choice, gratitude, and meaning. When you start to honor the ordinary as extraordinary, you'll find yourself surrounded by moments that feel almost sacred. And when others encounter that energy in you, it leaves a mark. You become not just a person, but a presence, a reminder of what really matters. So if you want to be someone quietly more precious than gold, start here. Delight in the now. Practice presence. Let go of the chase. And remember, what you have right in front of you might just be everything you've been searching for. Number 6. An unshakable sense of self-worth. There is a quiet, commanding power in someone who no longer seeks permission to be themselves. After 65, this kind of inner confidence becomes not just admirable, it becomes essential. It's the kind of self-worth that doesn't need applause, doesn't bend for approval, and doesn't shrink for anyone's comfort. It's the kind of self-respect that makes a person truly unforgettable. Many spend decades trying to please, to impress, to belong. But those who become quietly more precious than gold are the ones who, with time, stop asking, "Am I enough?" and start knowing I am. They no longer chase validation. They no longer dim their light. They realize that their value was never up for debate in the first place. Take Carolyn, 74, a retired social worker living in North Carolina. In her earlier years, she was always the yes person, agreeing to every favor, swallowing every opinion, and putting herself last. It left her drained, unseen, and quietly resentful. But everything shifted when she hit her 70s. One morning, after canceling yet another plan she didn't want to attend, she stood in front of the mirror and whispered, "I matter too." And from that moment forward, she started living like it. Today, Carolyn moves through life differently. She speaks with calm clarity. She's kind, but she no longer apologizes for setting limits. She dresses for herself, not for trends. She declines invitations that don't serve her peace. She's not rude, just rooted. And because she honors herself, others naturally do the same. True self-respect isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It shows up in subtle, powerful ways. In how you carry yourself, how you respond to being overlooked, how you protect your energy. It's the ability to say, "I deserve better," and actually believe it. It's standing in your story without shame and knowing that your lived experience is something no one can take away from you. Unfortunately, society often sends the message that as we age, we should become smaller, quieter, more agreeable. But the opposite is true. Age is not a reason to lose your voice. It's the perfect time to own it fully. You've earned your wisdom. You've survived storms. You've built a life. Your worth does not decline with time. It deepens. The beauty of self-respect is that it empowers others too. When people see you refusing to settle, refusing to chase, refusing to fold, something clicks inside them. You become a model of what's possible, a person who knows they are enough, just as they are. So here's the invitation. Stop asking for permission. Stop softening your edges to fit into spaces that weren't made for you. Carry yourself like someone who finally knows what they bring to the table and is no longer afraid to eat alone if necessary. And if this message speaks to your soul, if you're ready to stand tall in your truth and let your worth shine through every step, comment 6 below. Let's keep lifting each other up, one story, one truth, and one boundary at a time. As we close this video, take a quiet moment to think about these 6 timeless qualities. They have little to do with fame or fortune. Instead, they're about the character you build, the grace with which you carry yourself, and the depth of your presence in a world that often overlooks the quiet strength of wisdom and kindness. Those who are truly irreplaceable, more valuable than gold, aren't loud about it. They don't demand to be seen. They've simply chosen to grow inwardly, to build strength without shouting, and to live with a sense of calm confidence that only deepens with age. But this kind of presence doesn't happen by chance. It's a daily decision, a mindset, a lifestyle. And the beautiful thing is you can begin right where you are, at any stage of life. Whether you're nurturing patience, refining your purpose, or learning to lead with compassion, every step you take brings you closer to the person you were always meant to become. Now it's your turn. Which of these 6 pillars spoke to your heart today? Is there one that feels especially important in your life right now? Or maybe one you'd like to focus on moving forward? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Your stories, your lessons, and your reflections matter here on. They might just inspire someone else on their own journey. If this video gave you a moment of peace or insight, we invite you to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it today. Every click, every comment, and every share helps us grow this community of wisdom and support. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Until next time, keep growing, keep shining, and remember, you are more powerful than you realize.